But that was really hard, right? Because he always wanted to play, right? But then once he got in the groove this year, right, it was pretty good because then he got right back into it. So it was good for him.
So you're looking forward to Knoxville. We'll enjoy it if he gets there. Thanks, Allegra. Back to you, Sean.
That's Michael Redd hitting a three. Allegra's son, Scooney, is on the bench. Allegra Penn, as we mentioned on Thursday night, has worked for 20 years in an assembly line at a GE plant in Lynn, Massachusetts to help support her family. We hope she's having a great time here. And if they do go to Knoxville, we hope she has a great time there too. She deserves it.
Nice penetration, but the kick. Is he from Lynn or what's
He's from Salem?
That's what I thought.
Not known as a basketball player, but he has a younger brother who's coming along too, they tell us, Dwayne, who is a freshman at Salem. Scooney's one of 4 children. Interesting story about his nickname. Started out as Uno because he was the first boy in the family. Then it became Uni. Penn became Scooney.
Now he's scooting around the Big Ten and other environments. But did you see him in high school?
No, never saw him play. Heard a lot about him and read a lot about him. He was on an undefeated team and won a state championship in a place where they traditionally had not had great basketball.
They're showing a little poise and integrity. Detroit trying to muster up some offense. It has been a struggle on that end.
Phillips now at 9 points. And it's 46-28. Ohio State nearly midway through the second half. Beelan much too close to Redd, and he gets called for the foul. Second on Beelan. Tonight on CBS, America's Night of Heroes, beginning with an all-new martial law with Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall. Then from the producers of Walker, Texas Ranger, it's the next generation of justice, Sons of Thunder, with a special guest appearance by Chuck Norris. Tonight on CBS.
They got some blood. They had some on Redd's shirt earlier. Now Scooney Penn going to the sideline.
He's had a tough time. He ran into a cameraman going off the court at halftime.
And for Ohio State, number 13.
The medical staff will tend to him. Mike Bordner is the Ohio State trainer. Redd shut off. Savovich gave it back to him. Reese a tip. Reese again.
Just getting so tough underneath. You think of Johnson's contributions, Reese, Singleton, quietly blending into a solid group.
20-point edge. The largest for the Buckeyes tonight. Ferguson with Redd out quickly.
Good reaction knowing the set, little double screen.
Ferguson, that's a three.
Ferguson, a 3 for Detroit.
He's been around it, not stepping back. I'd like to see him convert a couple.
He had a big 3 late in the win against UCLA. And hit the game-clinching free throws. But there's Savovich to answer.
They run that flare screen as well as anybody in the country. And different people. That's why it's not defended as well.
Savovich from Yugoslavia, as we mentioned, came over to live with his uncle and played high school basketball in New Jersey. His high school coach, Ed Leibovitz, said big reason that he came to Ohio State, talking about Savovich, was Paul Biancardi. The recruiter did a great job. He said it was about 50% Paul Biancardi. And then Savovich was very impressed when he got to Columbus. He was welcomed by a Serbian church group. And he said that was probably about the other 50% of the reason why he went there. He just felt comfortable when those people from St. Stephen Church greeted him.
Jimmy could have been a chairman of a party up in Boston, huh, with his ability to maneuver. Great touch, selling, marketing.
Redd.
Oh, goodness, that goes. He owns that 3-second lane with his ability to bounce. That's 2 jump shots, one deeper than the other.
That's supposedly the weakness of his game, too. Outside shooting, 33% for the year from 3. But 3 more on that one. And the shot blocked. But a travel called first. Reese blocked the shot, but Bakari Alexander called for steps. And a 20-second timeout has been called by the Detroit Titans.
Book, I said, what did your mom say about the coach? Didn't like the attire that Perry wore, the big old buckle.
Well, that's what Bakari said. Bakari Alexander's mom, Karani, went to high school with Perry Watson. Bakari got the hold of the old high school yearbook from his mother and showed the Titans the picture of Perry Watson when he played high school basketball. He had the shorts with the belt. So they had a good laugh at Coach Watson's expense. Sanderson into the lane. Reese the rebound. Tipped out by Ferguson, but to Savovich.
I can't say anything. Packer and Raftery are from the belt era as well. Belt and the buckle.
Just try to get that belt untightened enough to get your wallet out every now and then when we're on the road. That would be a big relief to the rest of our CBS production crew.
Oh, you want to ruin my trip, do you?
Ticking down to 7 minutes left. Brown, a line drive 3 for Brian Brown.
What a difference in one half, huh? Loose, everything flowing, getting open opportunities. You can see Detroit backing off defensively.
Disappointing performance by Detroit. They're much better than their show tonight. That's Jackson rattling home a 3, and Jermaine has 10.
Sean, I didn't think they had the depth to bounce back. The tough games over the weekend here. It takes a lot out of your legs.
They had a grueling game with UCLA, and their nucleus played an incredible number of minutes. A good tip in by Reese. Jermaine Jackson played 39 minutes. Kari Alexander went the whole 40. Rashad Phillips went the full 40 against the Bruins. Jackson a miss. Reese the rebound. 15 boards for Reese. What an effort he's given. Jim O'Brien off the bench.
You can just see the reaction a little bit slower on these screens. A little easy switching exchanges.
23-point lead for Ohio State. They're on their way to the Sweet 16. Sanderson missed a short one. Got his own rebound. Missed again. And there's Singleton.
I'm sure John's wondering what he has to do to make a little one of those easy ones. Don't flick it. Keep the head up.
Well, Singleton is one of 2 seniors who stuck it out with Jim O'Brien. He said he never thought about quitting because his mom, Gail, raised him never to quit even when times get tough. He said there were times when it was so depressing under the previous regime that he didn't even want to go to practice. Jackson from the free throw line.
Different attitude. You can see it in the players right now.
12 points for Jermaine Jackson. 23-point lead as we come down to 5 minutes left. Jason Singleton. Savovich.
Got to make a couple, right? He's got a following.
We've made him feel welcome in Columbus. And I think they needed to play well, Bill, in the second half with an eye toward meeting up with the #1 seed on Thursday night. They didn't want to go through 40 minutes of ugliness after the first 20 were so dismal on both sides here.
And a lot of it attributable as we check out. Hopefully Jermaine's okay and that nice penetration. I think attributable to Detroit's defense. It's just they were unable to score. One of the few. He opened the half going to the tin. How about this one? A little kiss by Jermaine. A little bit late. And even though he does wear the Superman shirt, it would take a superhuman.
Coleman came down with strep throat, had the 103 temperature, so they told Singleton to move. He was reluctant to do it. He'd been rooming with Coleman for a long time. Everybody said you hate to be disloyal to your teammate. There's Nishan, but wisdom prevailed.
Have you ever had that strep throat?
Awful.
And I think they suggested that Jason get some attention too, some medical supplies in him. But it just drains you and can't swallow anything.
I hope to have Coleman back Thursday night against Auburn. He is a valuable weapon as a three-point shooter. Phillips.
Nice.
Kraft had it sent away by Johnson again.
Get it up. He has been a large, extraordinary low post center.
He had 5 blocks Thursday night against Murray State, and he has 5 more tonight. 3.5 minutes left.
This is very nice, by the way, what they're doing. They're not trying to run. They're not trying to force the issue, use some clock. I mean, a lot of style, but it doesn't surprise me with Jimmy O'Brien.
Red, long 3, rattled out. Not at all. He's one of the classiest guys, and he had some tough years at BC where people piled it up on him, so he knows what it's like to be on the short end of a score like this.
He also handled losing well, which a lot of guys can't. Did it with dignity, style, and grace. Rotate.
Jackson just 2 out of 5 from the line. He now has 15 points. And what's going to be his last game at the University of Detroit Mercy. 4-year starter for the Titans. Jermaine Jackson, the MCC Midwest Collegiate Conference Player of the Year this year. First Titan ever to win that award. He's had a great career, but it's going to end tonight. Ohio State on its way to victory in Indy. He's trying to spread the half court here and run some time down.
The hardest part of a game for a coach. I'm looking over at Perry. Trying to get him to stay at home. Don't gamble. And the style of O'Brien, once again, run it down. Don't take anything. Don't rub it in.
Savovic's 3 wouldn't go. Sanderson, great effort, and he was fouled. He earned that. He just out-hustled the 2 Titans standing alongside him. Bowling Arena, and the top 4 seeds all advanced. Auburn and Ohio State, St. John's and Maryland. That should be a lot of fun.
Committee's on top of it when you think of it. St. John's will play a lot of half court. Can they handle that pressure, relentless as it is for Gary Williams' Terps?
Out west, Connecticut and Iowa. And the winner of the Weber State Florida game against Gonzaga. And we're going to check into the end of that Weber State Florida game for many of you, time permitting. And we're finished with our business here in Indianapolis. Johnson out to a big hand. Understandably so, with his 5 block shots.
A major factor on the defensive end. Very spirited play by him, too, even when he caught it in the offensive end. Trying to maneuver, be creative.
Phillips, very fun to watch. Rashad Phillips, who missed that spinning layup in the lane.
I'm with you. I can't say enough about this Detroit team, particularly the backcourt. Rashad, a lot of spark. Of course, Jermaine Jackson, another guy who can fill it up.
And Phillips will be back next year. I have the feeling they're always going to have good talent there with Perry Watson, the way he's recruiting his hometown of Detroit in particular. 15 points now for Scooty Penn.
Are you suggesting he's wired in town?
I would say that he is, and he says it as well.
Well, he took that job right away. Mel Farr, the old football player, sent 2 cars over for the athletic department's use.
He was a popular choice. Guy really paid his dues, coaching a long time in high school, a couple of years as an assistant at Michigan. 20-second timeout. I think Jim O'Brien wants to get some of his key people out now. Exclusively on CBS Sports.
And John, you think back, Perry Watson's got them excited. It reminds me of Vitale's days when he first went there. Everybody got excited about the program. You know, we talked about Dave the Busher in his days. I mean, there's some tradition in this program.
And they're delighted for Shamar Herron, the 3rd Buckeye who's from Detroit. Sophomore out of Pershing High School, just in off the bench at garbage time, and he scores on the dunk. And that got the Buckeye bench up and slapping 5. .59 seconds left. Detroit season is about to end with a record of 25-6. They came into this one having won 8 straight. Sanderson called for a 2nd foul, so Jackson's back in the line. Bakari Alexander gets a big hand. And the hugs as he goes out. Another senior. It was a great story. Didn't play basketball until high school. Started playing as Perry Watson knew his mom and encouraged him to play. Went to Robert Morris, then transferred to the University of Detroit Mercy. And he's a very good student. And he's going to have a lot of opportunities, a lot of areas of life.
Well, his mother said you can't play unless you have a 3.5 when he was in high school. He was thinking of Dartmouth, Cornell, for example, and opted for Robert Morris, then transferred back, as you noted. The heart and soul in a lot of ways.
Well, after the first half in which they couldn't make anything, now the Buckeyes can't miss. That was John Sanderson stepping out. 73-42.
Jim O'Brien, who gives that expression, what are you doing? Let's wrap it up.
And now they're on their way to the Sweet 16 very next season for the first time since '92.
Would you call him a renaissance man? To begin anew, rebirth, Mr. O'Brien. What he has done, resuscitated. Think they'll forget about football there?
No.
Oh, just curious.
They're worrying about that, though, at Auburn. We saw David Housel, the athletic director of Auburn, last night when we were at dinner. And he said, we've become a basketball school. And a couple of the Auburn players told us yesterday, the football players said to them, we need to get Auburn football back on track because this is becoming a basketball school.
Better straighten our season out, huh? They've had a pretty good run down there in both, well, this year in basketball and in football for a number of years.
Von Smith in the game with the ball, a junior from West Virginia. They want Smith to shoot. He passes to Heron.
That's great for the bench. They get the biggest kick out of their guys who do all the dirty work, the scout team, the prep. Oh, my goodness.
That's not necessary.
No.
Cliff Austin just off the bench, a deep bench player for Detroit, just threw a forearm up around the neck of one of the Buckeyes.
We'll just hold it out there. Smart. That's a little style.
Jim O'Brien and his Buckeyes continue the greatest turnaround in Big Ten history. 17 wins more than they had a year ago, and on their way to Knoxville for the Sweet 16. First trip there for the Buckeyes since '92. Final score, Ohio